Hey everyone! Thank you for tuning in to this taping of the Bambi Nicole Show. Today I'm going to talk to you kind of about what it was like for me in my childhood of growing up Bambi, and I cannot deal. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show as I talk to you about what it was like growing up being Bambi, my childhood, and whatnot. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. First things first, I do have to say that I am a complete mama's girl. My mother is amazing. My mother is beautiful. My mother is wise. My mother was the start to me admiring women because she was so independent, strong-willed, attractive, beautiful, independent. She worked very hard back in the childhood of me. You know, she would work 2 jobs to support me and my brother. So, mind you that this woman was working 2 jobs. She was supporting me and my brother on her own with no help. And she was very, very feminine. She was very, very thrifty. She would always piece things together with accessories. She was known for doing that. She would go to the thrift store and she would buy something, and then she always taught me that it's not about what you buy, it's about how you accessorize it. So I had an extremely feminine woman, during my childhood. But you see some of this hair, because this hair, I'm feeling this hair today. What about a round of applause for the hair, girls? Because I'm telling you, this is like really, really wavy and really, really pretty. And just as soon, I'm take the bow off so you can see it. But she would accessorize everything. So I had a very feminine woman to look up to. Now, there was no surprise about, me being a little girl, because I always took to, if you can't tell, my idol was always Barbie. Yes, and even today I'm kind of wearing like a little pink ensemble to honor, a doll look. I was big time Barbie queen. I would sit there and play with dolls sometimes for, 8, 10, 12 hours. I always hung out with little girlfriends of mine. I always made neighborhood friends that were little girls. We would sit around and we played tea party. We would play Barbie dolls. We would play dress up. It was never, like I said, it was never a big surprise that your girl here just had to go through some processes to become a woman. Now, I want to tell you that my first experiences of me, when I was a child, my godmother helped raise me because my mom was busy working 2 jobs. Well, my godmother was very, very accepting of me, beautiful spirited woman. And so I would play with dolls, and I started taking to dolls when I was 2 years old. Now, it's funny because dolls kind of have an importance in my life, because during very sad, depressing, and lonely years, I would collect a lot of dolls because I wanted to be a doll. I wanted to grow up, and I wanted to be what I saw in that package. So, I always I think by the age of 12, I probably had like 200 of them still in the boxes, and I was still playing with them, but I would also collect them. So in my childhood, I was a very avid doll collector, played with tons of dolls. I would play with all the neighborhood girls. I always felt like a little girl. It was funny because my first experience of where I knew that I was kind of like a straight girl was I had gotten a crush on this little boy that used to come over to my godmother's house named Jonathan. And me and Jonathan would sit down and we would play house for hours on end, and I would always be the mother and he would always play, the father. So I had a lot of fun with that when I was little. So this was never, again, anything that I ever questioned. I always knew that I was a woman. I just knew that I was going to have a more difficult journey. Now, being that said, and I told you in a previous video that I was born actually XXY chromosome. When my mother was pregnant, they actually thought that she was going to have a daughter. So she actually had picked out a female name for me, Jessica, before I was even born, because my mother was under this conclusion that she was going to, give birth to a daughter. And out here I come. I was always her daughter, but, I had to make some rearrangements and some adjustments. So anyway, like I said, I was basically raised as a girl. Now, in and out of my life, my mom always knew that I was a girl. My father treated me like his daughter even from when I was little. He would buy me little tea sets, and he would buy me dolls, and he would buy me all kinds of girly little things. So my mom went through a spoof where she wanted me to kind of conform and be more. She didn't want me to have a hard road to go in life. So she tried at some point in time to make me kind of conform, and she cut all my hair off, and she threw all my dolls out, and she, tried to make me be a little boy. However, I wasn't going for that. So when she took me to the to the shoe store when I was 7 years old, I'd always pick out the pink tennis shoes, or I'd always have to wear the pink shirts, or again, this was something that was always, it was never a big surprise when I came out that I was going to transition. I told my mother that I was going to transition at 12. Period. I told her that. And like I said, in my later years, she was very accepting. She went to we would go to the store. She would buy me girls' clothes, but she would buy me boys' clothes to put on top of the girls' clothes so that when we went home to my stepfather, because he always had something smart assy to say anyway. Um, but she would buy me those things to hide. She would just say, do it in discretion, because she always knew, and she was always accepting. So if anybody that I admire or idol or look up to, it's definitely, my mother. My mother was very feminine, very beautiful. She raised me in a very loving environment, though she struggled. And then she met my stepfather, and my stepfather, again, he was kind of an old school Italian, and it was harder for him to adapt to, my decision to transition, which obviously I did today. And years later, me and him are now close. We speak, we talk, we have more of a father-daughter relationship. My mother will be watching this video, by the way. My mother is my #1 subscriber. She always lets me know how many subscribers I have. She texts it to me or whatnot. So, like I said, I came up in a very accepting home with my mother. My brother knew that I was going to become his sister. My brother would poke fun at me all the time. My brother would say, oh, you're an ugly little boy, and I know one day you're going to be, this girl, and you might be famous and all this stuff. And then he would take my dolls and would cut their heads off. And at some point, when we got a little bit older, it got hard on him, my decision to transition, of course. But he came around to my decision, and now me and him are closer than ever. So I had a great relationship growing up. When I was growing up, I always played with girls. I was always playing, like, we would play hide and go seek, and I would play with the girls. I was in dolls. I was in their clothes. I was learning makeup. Again, childhood was basically me studying or me learning how I was going to become, a feminine woman. Now, as I sit here as a grown transsexual woman, my thing is that I want to kind of be like a mama to the new girls out there. So one of these days, girls, I'm going to take several of you under my wing and show you several things. And as the Bambi Nicole show expands, I will be doing giveaways to some of the girls out there that I know that are having a hard time, that are struggling, that can't necessarily afford. I've been very fortunate. I've been very blessed. I have sponsors. I have modeling things. I have a lot of things. So some of the stuff that I'm giving, was given to me, and maybe it's in overabundance, and I will be eventually doing what's called giveaways to some of the new girls out there that are less fortunate, or help providing them going in directions of where they would go to, look to transition. And I've got, so I'm definitely looking to be a mama of the community and help out people that, like I said, are less fortunate. Me, I struggled in my adult years, but I learned how to become patient, and I overcame. And when I overcame, I became. Okay. So, it's definitely hard work has paid off. I was always taught, in childhood to be a hard worker, that no matter what that you wanted in life, that you were to work hard at it to succeed. And, if you know something to be true, let me keep it real. If you know something to be true, you have to know it to be true for it to manifest. You can't say, I want to be a beautiful woman. You must know that you are a beautiful woman, and work hard, dedicate, sacrifice, give it all you've got. And I promise you, you will be that beautiful woman that is in your dreams, that you think about, that is your ideal. It will manifest, but it has to start off in your mind, and you must know that you already are her. You can't think, I want to be. You have to know that you already are, and you have to give it all you've got and see if it doesn't manifest. So anyway, girls and germs and gentlemen and women and transgender and whoever the hell's watching this show, because I know that I have a couple hundred subscribers already. And woo woo, because I'm telling you, this show took off in just a few short months. Like I said, make sure to join us on BamFam, www.facebook.com/Bambi Show. Join one of the groups. It's called BamFam. Soon, I will be doing BamFam t-shirts. It'll say BamFam on them. Like I said, future will be doing giveaways and everything else because I have been blessed, with so many subscribers. And if you need, make sure that you contact me. I am an administrator in a group with almost 20,000 members. So make sure that if you are in need of support or if you're in need of, some love and some guidance, make sure that you holler at your girl and I'll put you in the right path that you may need to go because I have been fortunate and blessed to be in the path where I can put you in a path. Thank you so much for tuning in to this taping of an all-new Bambi of what it was like for me to grow up as a little girl and become Bambi. I'll see you next time, but I did want to give you kind of a close-up face shot of this hair because, girls, I was feeling this all day. This is my little Shakira hair. Excuse me while I try to cover up the girls because sometimes they like to have a mind of their own. But you see this, girls? The wave? Yeah, anything that you do, step it up and do it right. I love y'all. See you soon. Bye.